Hello again, viewers, and greetings, fellow space travelers. This is Thorn of Night, and welcome to another glorious day on the Performium Skyblock server. And I am over here in Market Lane, not because I want to do some shopping, obviously. This is my Market Lane, but instead because I wanted to show you some of the work that's been going on sort of between the videos, between episodes, because I sort of got ahead of myself, and also with a little help from JoJo, some things got added to the giant mushroom, but we'll get to those in just a bit. First, I wanted to mention something kind of weird. RGA Minecraft does not know what's causing it, but if I hit list, or if I type list rather, although I am for sure still YouTube rank, and they can look it up and they're like, yeah, you're definitely YouTube rank. For some reason, it does not show me as YouTube rank. It stops every time I leave and come back. One solution could be never leave. That's not really a good option for me. But at least it does show up that I'm gold. But they don't know why the YouTube rank keeps just going poof. So, though I am still YouTube rank, it isn't showing up on list. Just trust me, it's still there. It just because maybe it's because I got bought the gold rank after YouTube rank or something. I don't know. They don't know either. It's just baffling. But now for the reason why I'm here. One of the projects that I've been working on off camera is actually up here, and I'm deliberately not looking up at it so that it can be a little bit more of a surprise. So I'm just going to come up here to the chain. No, I have not started adding the clouds, but I have begun the step and stage. Stay up. Wow, I went all kinds of Midwest there. Stay up. Anyway, the first step towards getting the rest of this construction done is in place. I have the stay-ups here, and on top of these platforms I'm going to be placing some, I was actually kind of thinking blue flame pots. Instead of having orange fire like everyone's used to, I was actually kind of thinking blue because it seems like it would be much more fitting up here, especially what with the clouds and all that. I'm going to have some sea lanterns as the actual source of light, but it's going to be different sorts of blue stained glass coming up and out. I don't know how big I'm going to make them. Probably make them stand up to here as far as the flame. I don't want them to go halfway up the building, but maybe about here, right around this area, one of these 2 to 3 block difference is roughly where I want them to go. They're going to be stylized pots that are probably only going to be, let's see here, at most that tall, but the flame itself I want to have maybe about that tall. All three of these flame pots, or fire pots, whatever you want to call them. So that's sort of the idea, but I want to kind of fiddle with a few designs. I don't want to do the fiddling here just in case I just mess something up or whatever. Get it right the first time and then bring it over here. That's what I'd rather do. So this is the progress so far up here. Have the steps and the platforms. Then it will be the flower pots, and then the clouds underneath. I definitely have to add some clouds because this is too rectangular and just too much. And also the clouds for the parkour that will lead up to here. That will lead up to here. Oh, and I have confirmed, by the way, that you can. Well, I missed it that time, but you can you can elytra from up here all the way down Well, that was fly, not elytra. I keep saying parkour. And there we go. Ow! Tickled. But you can successfully elytra now from there up to here. As long as you know where you're headed, you can get here. So there's that. Another thing is down here. I'm not going to take any credit at all for placing these spores. This is all JoJo 1 Champ's doing. They volunteered. They're like, oh, me, I want to help. And so, this is JoJo and the magnificence of just nose to grindstone tunnel vision building. And it looks so cool too. Let me come back over here so you can see down from below. I'll stand on this block of gold here. Look at that. That is just too cool. And it really does look a lot better than the stone buttons would have. I'm really glad I decided, let's go wood. It just looks fantastic. To me, anyway. But that's not the only thing that's going on over there. You can see there's an orange stripe going around. I am beginning uh, the road that's going to be heading on up, and it will start right about here. I'm going to make it stick out maybe about either 4 or 5. I think for this high of a trunk, I think 4 is going to be sufficient for. Oh, I don't have any more acacia on me, but I think 4 out is sufficient because that's 4 there. 5 just, I don't know. It seems if I have 1 more over there and then I have 5 over there, it just seems like it draws it out too far. 4 seems sufficient. And here's what I'm sort of thinking. The path is going to be 4 all the way up, or at least approximate 4 because it is going around the bend. And then the outer edge, I was thinking, because I want to have another kind of wood that pops, so not a dark wood. I would rather have something bright and almost creepy-ish. So to go with the acacia, and under any other circumstance, I don't think these two look good with each other, me personally. But I'm thinking have the fence and the support beams that hold over the canopy that's going over this walkway. I'm thinking of having them jungle. It may sound like it'll look weird. As a matter of fact, hold on, let me go get some jungle planks because I want you to see why I don't think it looks good. Maybe you think it looks good. I personally do not like the look of jungle with acacia. So let's go back up there. Over here. I know. Wait a minute. Yeah, that's jungle fence. I know it's hard to tell that it's jungle by comparison, but if I come over here, do that, you can see that sort of almost pinkish, that there very faint strawberry that goes with the jungle. It sticks out, and because of how much that acacia is just this vibrant orangish color, it drowns this out and almost makes it look like bland oak. But if you put oak up here, it's like, okay, well that's clearly oak and that's clearly jungle. But under any other circumstance, I don't think that jungle goes well with acacia. However, with that black, it actually works because if I put jungle, or I'm sorry, if I put oak here, it really throws off the balance and it just looks wrong. So this looks like it would be oak, but instead it's jungle on the acacia with the black background. I think it actually works in this one specific sort of situation. Any others, it's too much pinkish and warm tones. I don't think the jungle goes with acacia typically. But I think this is what I'm going to do. And also, I'll be putting slabs under the fence, so it's not going to look as funny as that. But it's going to be wide enough to walk up all the way, no problems. But on this level, right here, the reason why I have this platform, oops, give me those, is because this is where the bloom is going to go that's going to encase the nether portal itself. So I'm going to be designing that bloom, putting the finishing touches on it, and then seeing how I'm going to maneuver the path around it. Once I get that in place, the rest of the path goes in. As a matter of fact, I'm thinking of making it so people can't accidentally climb the path by doing one of these numbers here. Yeah, you can do the little jump up on a block and try to get up trick, but for right now I want to make it relatively safe because a lot of the things on my island, once they are finished, are ultra safe. But the rest are use at your own risk. Except, like for instance, the parkour. That chain parkour, that at the bottom, I actually have a sign. Let's get over there. It says, parkour the chain at your own risk. I'm not going to be responsible if you decide to try a death-defying act with all your god gear and then accidentally like fall and land here and someone goes, "Oh neat, free stuff." Warp home. I can't be held responsible for that. But people keep saying, "I fell off your chain, can you help me get my stuff?" If I'm on, and I can, I will try, yes. I'm not going to be that mean, but there's a point where it becomes ridiculous, especially if you do it multiple times in one day. And if you watch this video, you know who you are. Just stop parkouring with a full inventory of stuff. It's not recommended. It's not a good thing to do. But anyway, I am going to be working primarily on this path that goes up today. I will be possibly doing some cloud building up there just to get a little bit of fluff going, use up the snow blocks that I have so that I can make room for more snow blocks and so on and so forth. But that, hopefully the rest of the spores are going to go in, and on the side I am designing the shooting gallery, or not gallery, but the firing range escape room kind of thing. I don't even know what it's going to be called yet. But I have a lot of things going on and a lot of side projects because I know that I get distracted, and so it's good to have little things to turn back to on the side, and B, sometimes I run out of materials for one thing but have plenty for the other. So that's one of the reasons why I have so many different projects going on. For instance, right now I have a bunch of acacia while I'm saying this right now. I may not tomorrow, but for right now I have plenty and I can actually do that part. In the other circumstance, I probably wouldn't have had enough. So, taking advantage of the fact and working on that project. We'll see how much gets done and if anything changes over the course of today. But for right now, that's the game plan. I'm going to get to work. I'll talk to you in a bit. Oh, one other thing I thought I should mention. For the first time since I opened up the pet shop, I'm back over $100,000. I am actually $4,000 away from where I was when I opened the shop. Now, at any point in time, someone could just sell me another like 10 iron golem spawners, but for right now, I'm over 100,000. Now, I'm not near Baltop. Let's see here, Baltop 2. I know for a fact I'm on page 2. There we go. Let's see here. I am not even the very top of page 2. Ender Lady's still on top. Well, on top of page 2 anyway. And page 1, let's see here. Bell top. Now that it went through all of it, it can just bring it straight up. Even Night Hunter's been bumped down a little bit. So that's the standings at this point in time. Now I know that my money's going to go up and down and up and down and up and down, but I'm just kind of excited. Oh, Iggy did a whole bunch of wheeling and dealing briefly and got over 1 million. I mean, I know I've got $1 million in stuff to sell in the shops right now, but it's it's interesting to see $1 million on Belltop. It is, but I'm already past a tenth of the way there again. But I just thought you might get a kick out of seeing me finally back over 100K to deserve the celebratory end crystal that I placed there. But I'm going to get back to work again, so I'll talk to you in just a bit. Couple of things. First and foremost, recently I have had very limited number of people on my island who could have done something like this. I don't think it was JoJo. I don't think it was White Cat. But I was asked a question here. Why did you take your end crystal off your fountain? I didn't. The only other person that's been on my island that could have is either RGA or Euler's Bay. I don't even know if Euler's Bay could do it. I'm not sure if they could do it. I don't think that they would either. RGA might. But there again, I doubt that too. But whatever the case may be, I didn't break it. That means that someone else or some other thing with the server did. And so therefore, it's not getting replaced. You've seen it, it was here, but I'm not going to keep replacing it if it's going to keep vanishing once a week or less. The other thing in here, it says, oh, what are you going to do when Skyblock resets? Well, if Skyblock resets, then I'll probably just start from scratch. If it resets depending on my mood, I may do a different setup, but I will very likely just reset. I'll just start from scratch, whole new plan. But I'm not going to think about that. That's the advantage of a semi-zen approach is if something happens, it happens. So I'm just going to not worry about it. But as far as this is concerned, I'm not going to keep spending valuable resources on replacing this if it's going to disappear again, so it's going to stay disappeared. You guys got to see it at least. Go watch a previous video. Anyway, the other reason why I started recording right now is because the ramp is done. All the way up to the top, it winds all the way around. The canopy is done. It is lit on top and bottom by those glowstones. I'm going to be putting something else on top of the glowstone, maybe down the center line to sort of disguise it. Maybe, maybe not. But there's also these little bands in here that I can use for growing things out. Speaking of growing things out, right here is where the giant fungal bloom is going to go. The bloom, I'm going to tear out the platform here. I just wanted to get the ramp in place. It'll reconnect around the bloom, and there will be a chamber here for me to access the nether portal. But this is basically the location where it's going to be. I was thinking about maybe making it between, but then, well, let's see here. Players could still access my nether. Let's think about this. If I put the bloom in between, I don't have to tear this out. And all I have to do to make people be able to access it is let this be parkourable right here. And I could very easily do that, and then all they'd have to do is just walk up. So technically there'd be 2 ramps going up, and one just goes around one more time. I'm not going to do that again. Over to here on top. I had not considered that. Not needing the fungal bloom to be in there, because I don't necessarily want to prevent people without fly from getting to it, but I also don't want the nether to be the initial destination. If people want to go to the nether, they at least are going to have to do some work to get to it and spiral their way up, either on the inside or on the outside. And on the outside, that might actually be good. As a matter of fact, if I do it there, it'd be less work for them to have to do, and less work for me. But I think there's slightly more room. I'll think about that. But the ramp does go all the way up to the top. Oh, also more buttons have been placed. And it comes out up here. And what I've done for the part that passes through the cap of the mushroom is I have just put the jungle planks in place. And then let's get down there. Doop, 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 doop. Where it starts becoming visible to the outside, I have continued with the fence, and then it's just fence from there down. Oops. Also, the gaps between the top and bottom for the fences that were just floating in between the slabs, I went ahead and double slabbed on top and bottom to make them all interconnected. I've also double checked to make sure none of them can be jumped through, and on top of that, I have checked it for lighting to make sure that players aren't going to be encountering a random creeper on the way up. So, trying to make it as safe as possible. I have yet to decide what I'm going to do for the perimeter. There is going to be some sort of barricade, but see, the thing is, I like the fence, but the fence allows players to fall through, like, let's see here. If I whoosh on over here, players can just fall through fence, and I don't want people to just randomly fall off the edge of the mushroom. I want to have it as safe as reasonably feasible. So that's what I'm going to go for with this, is having a safety wall around. But I haven't yet decided what the design is going to be. I might stylize it and actually make it some sort of intricate pattern that goes around, or I'll just make it a plain fence, because it's a lot of work either way. The path that comes up here, I'm going to be continuing it out and around in a large spiral that's going to work its way all the way out to the edge, and where it ends at the edge, I'm going to have access to, and I think it might actually be on this side. Yeah, awesome. The lip that will house the beginning of the rail that's going to be going all the way around. We'll see how it's going to end up, but basically I'm not going to worry about that until after more up there is done. So I just want you to see the progress, more buttons, path is built, and also the bad news of the end crystal, which I don't know how it went missing. Other than Jojo or White Cat, the only people that have been on my island since it was for sure there that could have popped it are owners or admins or mods or whatever. So I don't know what to say. Was there, now it's missing. Oh well. I wonder, hold on. Can lightning strikes kill it? Well, hold on. Let me answer that by saying I think it's 100% covered from, yeah. So lightning couldn't be the culprit. I don't know what could possibly have knocked it out. I'm just guessing. Grasping at straws here. Anyway, I'm going to get back to work on this and a couple other things because there's just a ton more stuff that I need to be working on right now. So I'll be back. Before I leave, one other thing. Now that I have access to up here, I can start planning where I want the mushroom biome or mushroom island biome greenhouse to be, because I do want it to be up here. I'm thinking probably having it right here would be fantastic because, well, let's turn on the chunks. It would be visible to the sky. And over here, I could avoid putting anything above it if I really deemed necessary. And it would not interfere with this chunk at all, because it would all be contained there. Alright, made a bunch of measurements and calculations. Oh, that's still visible. I was under there. Anyway, distraction. What I went ahead and did was I drew the center line from where that comes out all the way around in an expanding spiral all the way, and if this makes you dizzy, I'm sorry, all the way out to here. And the reason why I'm having it come out to here is because any farther out and it doesn't leave enough room for stuff to be put on the outer edge. But also, here is where I'm going to be putting a couple of things. One, the entrance to the rail that I'm going to have on the underside of the lip over here is going to go here. I was thinking about putting it over there and trying to force the spiral to come around and make it over there, but when I did that, it just, there was too much space between the road, and I don't like that. The road I'm going to make be approximately 5 across, at its widest anyway, and it's just going to follow that center line. The closest one here, let's see here, let me get this up. You see this part right here, this is not as round as it possibly could be, but that's alright. As long as I fill in the rest of the road around there, it'll smooth out. So these smaller area derps, they'll fix themselves with more road. But the other reason why I want this over here is you may see that I have continued some torches this way in a sort of a center line, but I also have these two little runways. And if you stay between the runways, you can fall to the water safely. There's a runway there, there's a runway here, but anywhere in here, if you aren't paying a lot of attention, or if you're deliberately trying to, you will land on bits of the fountain in the center and can possibly die. So I want to try to avoid that. Yeah, people can try to jump off anyway, but still, this could make it a little bit easier for people to get down. I do want a faster access. That way people don't have to walk back down. They can just go whee all the way down there. The road is going to have not only a few buildings and some of the buildings will be like stylized mushroom houses in between them, but also there's going to be a bit of a custom mushroom mungus. It's a mungus, a mushroom slash fungus forest up there. It's not going to have any actual trees. It's just going to be different varieties of mushroom, probably even some of the beige and red. But in addition, there will be custom mushrooms and these growths here. And I'm also going to be putting more of the growths under the mushroom cap where they will be sticking down through the gills and all that kind of stuff. The gills still need to be finished as far as the buttons are concerned, but that will happen. But basically, this is a good enough layout for me to start figuring out exactly where it is that I want to put the mushroom biome, the greenhouse, and let's see here. The greenhouse is going to require, obviously, the greenhouse enclosure with the glass, 2 mycelium blocks, and at least about a third of the water of the floor area made up of water. Now, what I'm going to try to do is have that, but also have the water flowing so that the mushrooms will get funneled off to the side and fall down to their death, so I can be harvesting leather and cooked beef and all that kind of stuff. So I have a a few different layouts that I want to try to fiddle with, maybe on a separate map, like my test map, just to see if it'll work the way I think it will. And then I'll bring them over here. But now I can, F3G, measure where the chunks are with respect to things that I want to do elsewhere. Lots of plans can start rolling out now that I have the path up here and the road laid out, and I'm very pleased with the way it turned out. It's all good. I think I've gotten enough done today that I need to just go ahead and wrap up here so I don't get ahead of myself. So, thank you very much for watching. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, please feel free to leave a message in the comment section below, and I will do my best to get back to you as quick as I can. If you like this video and you like what I'm doing here, please feel free to give a like. I do appreciate that. And if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe so you know when my future stuff comes out. I have lots and lots planned. But, yeah, I think this is a good point to wrap up. So thank you once again for watching. This is Thorn of Night on the Performium Skyblock server, and I will talk to you later. I've been paid a visit by this VilPLV, and they've given me 5 banners, which you can see here. I will go ahead and just place them for a moment just so you can see what they look like. I'm pretty sure that they were responsible for the one that I already have up there. I think that's supposed to be a Pikachu? This one looks kind of interesting. I don't know what it is, but it looks kind of interesting. Obviously brick wall, but I like this one best. This one's pretty neat. As a matter of fact, I might keep that one as is. The rest, I'll find a place for them. But anyway, VilPLV here wanted to be in the video, so here you are. You gave me some banners. Thank you. Oh, and another one. What's this? That's kind of interesting too. So, there we go. Some banners by this person. Hello.